What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Pick Six channel. Let's talk about it. The state of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Part 2. If you guys don't remember, I made one of these back in, week 4? And didn't want to make another one. I really did not want to make another one. I could have made one after the loss to the Cardinals. I could have made one after a loss against the Patriots. But I'm like, you know what? I'll give them time. Okay? After they lost to the Cardinals, I'm like, okay, they'll bounce back against the Patriots. After they lost to the Patriots, I'm like, okay, 2 in a row at home. Maybe they'll bounce back against the Colts. They didn't. They did not. Okay? I watched it at a Christmas party, which is why I look a little spiffy, if I do say so myself. But let's just talk about the Steelers, man. Clean house. Mike Tomlin, it's hard to say that he's not the problem right now. Okay? They're 7-7 right now. They could have easily been 9-5. Very easily. Okay? They were sitting on a 7-4 record. Okay? They had one of the, maybe not one of the easiest schedules, but an easy shot to get to the playoffs. A pretty smooth sailing shot to get to the playoffs. Okay? And they do nothing with it. They play even worse. They've been playing even worse. And I've talked about it plenty of times, and it's like, I saw progression last season. How is it that this team looks worse? This team looks worse compared to last season. And yes, I get that they technically have a better record compared to what they did last year at this time. But they look worse. There's no progression. And for those people who say Kenny Pickett is not the guy or whatever, it's way too damn early to be saying that. Here's why. The offensive line is still bad, besides probably Broderick Jones, okay? And the offensive coordinating is still bad, okay? I get the interim are trying as hard as they can, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're still using Matt Canada's play sheet. So, I mean, you're very limited. I feel like in order to say that Kenny is not the guy is once we get either fix up the O-line, maybe even get a new offensive line coach, because that might be the problem too. And a new a good, solid offensive coordinator, which has been a problem for years already. It's not like this is something new. Steelers have not had a good offensive coordinator in years. Okay? And like I said before, this whole thing with Matt Canada had no business being offensive coordinator coming into the season. That's the truth. That's on Mike Tomlin. This whole season has been on Mike Tomlin. And it just truly seems like he's lost the team. This team has no heart. This team has no grit. Nothing. That team doesn't represent the Steelers. What I see is not Steeler football. Far from it. That is far from Steeler football. There's probably only one game that I could point out to where I'm like, okay, that's some Pittsburgh Steelers football right there. And that's the game against the Bengals. That is the only game that I could say wholeheartedly that I was like, okay, we're finally getting back to some Steeler football. Just that one game. And it's like, I've never criticized Mike Tomlin. I've always liked Mike Tomlin as a head coach of the Steelers. Okay? But this season, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's doing. It's hurting the team. I'm saying this. Mike Tomlin has probably costed the Steelers a season. Because I don't think it's a talent thing. I really don't. Defense is good enough. Offense, you have weapons. The only thing is the offensive line, and you probably need to get a new offensive line coach too. Or something. It's either you try to fix up the old line or get a new offensive lineman coach. One of those two. But it's like, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Okay? This team is looking worse. There's no heart at all. Nothing. Look, I'll give Mike Tomlin one more season. One more season. Right now, I'm not saying fire him yet. Okay? This is like really the first season where I'm like, okay, this is on him. This is on him. Okay? Mitch Trubisky, he had no business being the starter of this game against the Colts. Absolutely no business. Can you tell me one time where he's looked good as a Steeler in the regular season? One game. I can't. He's never looked good as a Steeler. Not once. Why do you start him? He looked bad against the Cardinals. He looked bad against New England. Two bottom of the barrel teams. He looked bad. Why are you going to start him in the most important game of the season to date? Make it make sense. It's like all of Steeler Nation knew from the get-go. It's like, don't start this guy. Why would Tomlin start him? It's like, look, am I saying that Mason Rudolph is such an upgrade from Mitch Trubisky? No, I'm not. I'm not. But I mean, it's worth giving him a shot compared to what you've been seeing from Mitch. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know what Tomlin's doing. The Steeler culture is gone. I don't see it anywhere. I don't. You know, me personally, if I was the head coach, I'd bring in some of the older guys to tell the team what it means to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. You know, guys like Troy Polamalu, Ryan Clark, Ben Roethlisberger, maybe even Terry Bradshaw, man. If I was the head coach, that's what I would do. So that they could give the example of what it means to be a Steeler. That's what I would do. But I don't see it in this team. This team just seems so lost. And just has no mojo, no swagger, nothing to it. Nothing to it. It doesn't even really seem like a team at this point right now. It just really doesn't. It's crumbling apart. You know, so I don't know where else there is to go from here. This is probably the most disappointed I've ever been as a Steelers fan. You know what? Not probably. It is. It is. I say that because what's frustrating here is that I know they could be so much better than what they're putting out. Because the talent is there. I truly believe that. I truly believe that the talent is there. The coaching just doesn't seem like it is, though. So we'll see, man. They have 3 games left. Playoffs for me, I'm not even thinking about the playoffs anymore. Like I said, I don't even see the Steelers winning another game. I just don't. I don't. Nor do I care about Mike Tomlin's streak of never having a losing season. I don't care about that. I don't. You know, even if we go 9-8, it's like it's a huge letdown for me. You went 9-8 last season. That was supposed to be, your bit of a rebuild year. And this year, there's no progression whatsoever. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It really is, man. I don't know what else to say, man. I'm probably not gonna really talk much football until the next pick 6. I just don't really want to talk about football too much. It hasn't been very fun. Hasn't been very fun to be a Steelers fan the past 3 weeks. Not at all. Not at all. Will they turn it around? Gosh, I don't know. I hope so. I really do. Okay, it's not like I want this team to completely tank. No, I want them to be good. I know they could be good. But maybe tanking is the right thing to do here. I don't know. I'd rather know that my team is gonna suck rather than think that it's gonna be good and they're just mediocre or bad. I'd much rather have that feeling. So we'll see, man. I hope Tomlin gets it together. I hope the team gets it together. I hope the organization gets it together. Because right now, the product that's being shown, it's not Steeler football. It isn't. I started watching football, 2010. Okay. The culture just seemed a lot, the Steeler way just seemed a lot different compared to what it is now. Now it just seems like there is no culture. So we'll see how it goes, man. I have low expectations now. They play next Saturday against the Bengals, who have actually been looking pretty damn good, even with Jake Browning. We'll see how that goes. I'm expecting another loss. There's not really much else to expect. Enough said, man. But other than that, guys, here we go, Steelers, man. I guess.